Hey everybody, welcome to another Wedding Wednesday. Yes, this is another car edition of Wedding Wednesday. I had I have about 15 minutes worth of driving to do, and it's completely quiet, which is sometimes the only quiet I get when I'm riding in the car. So I was like, let me go ahead and knock this out right now, because that's more than enough time for me to answer the question of the day. And another really quick shout out to the Chick-fil-A on Mercury Boulevard for my frosted lemonade. They are the best. They have the best and the fastest drive-through. So if you're in Hampton, Chick-fil-A on Mercury Boulevard is my absolute fave. You will not leave disappointed. I was in the window and I was paying for my food and everything. Actually, I'd already paid for it, and the young lady was like, "Would you like to try a frosted lemonade on us?" And I was just like, "Do you know me? Like, I love free food, of course." So yeah, it's actually really good, and it's so super hot today that it just works. It works for today, and it's really tasty. But anyways, enough about Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is actually not the question or the topic for today. The question of the day is, who pays for what? So the answers that I'm going to give you are traditional answers. I will say that typically, or nowadays, the responsibility is solely on the bride and the groom. And if you do have people in your family that are willing to help you, or if you are taking the more traditional route, then this is who would pay for what. But just know that the responsibility is ultimately yours. It's your wedding. And what I always tell my brides is weddings are a luxury, not a necessity. So you don't actually have to have a wedding. That is a luxury. So you're responsible to pay for your own wedding, okay? So the first topic, or the first question, is your engagement party. That's usually the first thing that will happen after you get engaged. Some people will throw an engagement party. It doesn't happen so much now. People will just do like save the dates, but it's pretty much just to announce to your close family and friends, hey, we are engaged, we'll get married, this year, this month. It's just a little celebration. And that is traditionally hosted by the bride's parents. And that's pretty much it. I actually did have an engagement party, and I was blessed that one of my friends actually paid for the venue for me, and I think that my parents paid for the food. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't pay for that. It is extra, and because I'm trying to pay for a wedding, I was like, I don't necessarily have to have that, but it was gifted to me, and I was very grateful for it, and it was actually very fun. We had a really great time, and it was for your close family and friends. It's sometimes the first time that the bride and the groom's families actually meet, so it's kind of for everyone to get acquainted with each other before the actual wedding, which sometimes doesn't happen, and then it's weird at the wedding. So this is kind of like a meet and greet, and everyone gets to know each other, things like that. So the second thing would be the bachelorette party, and that is traditionally hosted by the maid or the matron of honor, and that's for just the girls, the bridesmaids. Probably not moms and grandmas for the types of parties that are thrown today, for the bachelorette parties that are thrown today. You probably don't want your grandma and people like that there, but that's why you have the engagement party. For myself, I had a bridal tea party. I had a bridal shower tea party. So of course, my mom came to that. We weren't doing anything, too out there. So I had no problem with her joining us for that. And I'm pretty sure my oldest sister, which was my matron, she paid for that. She hosted that for me. And that is traditionally how it should go. If you, and sometimes people will do engagement party, bridal shower, and a bachelorette party. You don't need to do all those parties. That's just too much. So pick one or maybe two, and that's enough. So I did not have a bachelorette party, just because it's not really my speed. So it just depends on the person. So next is your rehearsal dinner. That is traditionally paid for by the groom's family. So the groom's family traditionally will pay for the rehearsal dinner. And this is for usually the day before your wedding. You will, have your bridesmaids, the groomsmen, the pastor, pretty much anyone who's doing anything in the wedding come and just go through with the wedding coordinator just how the order of the ceremony is going to be, where you need to stand, how you're walking in, what songs you're walking into, kind of time the whole thing out, and just get familiar with everything so everything flows really nicely on wedding day. And then after that, there's typically a dinner, because it's usually in the evening time, and people have to eat. So it's just a way to say thank you to the people who have traveled from out of town. They've taken off of work, they've purchased their attire, bridesmaids dresses, flower girl dresses, ring bearers, tuxedos, all that stuff. And it's just a way to say thank you for sharing this special day with us by participating in our wedding. Dinner's on us tonight and tomorrow night for that matter. However, they get an extra thanks. They came out an extra day. They came out Friday and Saturday for the wedding, or Saturday and Sunday. So next, the wedding, the big day. Who should pay for the wedding, or who traditionally takes care of the bill? And that would be the bride's parents, who traditionally would take care of the ceremony, the reception, photography, DJ, pretty much all the aspects that you need to pull off a wedding. That's what they would cover. And like I said before, nowadays most of the responsibility is just solely on the couple. And don't feel like, and I get a lot of people say, I feel like that's not fair. Weddings today are not what they used to be. When brides' parents or brides and grooms, when their parents were paying for things for their wedding, it was pretty much it wasn't necessarily what they wanted. There wasn't a whole lot of options, and on top of that, it was just more traditional. It was like, okay, so grandma did this, mama did this, and this is what you're gonna do. Yes, I'm gonna pay for it, but this is what you're doing. And today there's so many options, and weddings have, evolved so much, in the last 20 years that, you do kind of need to just pay for your own wedding if you want all of these things, and your parents can't necessarily afford that. You should just pay for yourself. Weddings just aren't what they used to be, and it's more about the bride and groom, and them kind of really just showing their personality. As to where weddings in the past were just all about tradition and family and what mom wanted to do, and impressing their peers, your mom and dad. It was kind of like impressing their peers. It wasn't necessarily about you, because brides were getting very much younger back then, so they didn't have that many friends. There wasn't social media. You didn't invite people that you went to college with, because you hadn't gone to college yet. So it was more about the parents, and that's why they would flip the bill. So if more of your friends and family are coming to your wedding, then I feel like you should pay for your own wedding. And if your parents can help you, perfect. But don't make it a requirement, or don't have a falling out with people if they don't want to pay for stuff for your wedding. It's your responsibility, and again, it is a luxury, not a necessity. All right, guys, I'll see you next Wednesday. Leave me a comment, a like, a thumbs up. All right, bye, guys.